Why DeMarvion Overshown is a heat-seeking missile for the Cowboys. So we're gonna be going through that and 5 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is third grade wish comes true for Cowboys rookie DeMarvion Overshown. Frisco, Texas. DeMarvion Overshown was like a lot of Texas boys in the 3rd grade. He wanted to grow up and play for the Dallas Cowboys. Put it out there in the yearbook for everybody to see. When the Cowboys selected him in the 3rd round of this year's draft, he went to social media, proving that his dream was now a reality. The funny thing is, I wasn't even like a big, huge Cowboy fan growing up. But I knew if I was going to play at one place and I had the choice, it was going to be the Cowboys, Overshown said. It's the hometown team. Overshown grew up in East Texas. He attended ARP High School, a little more than 2 hours from at Stadium. The Cowboys' home in Arlington, Texas, off Interstate 20. It is the typical small Texas town where high school football rules. I tell you what, if we were out of town, the last person had to turn the lights off and lock the store door, said Overshown's coach, Dale Irwin, who spent 19 years as the Tigers coach. Sports is the community. Our town's not real big. We have about 2-3 stores right on the railroad tracks. A major road runs through it. But the town has sports. They're a big part of it. Overshown made an impression on Irwin as a freshman, getting called up to the varsity for the district playoffs, playing outside linebacker and defensive end at the Class 3A school. As a sophomore, he moved to free safety. He said, "Coach, whatever makes us better," Irwin said. I think that year he had 200 tackles. You couldn't run on us. He had probably 20 tackles for loss that year from the safety spot, as well as 10 minutes 15 interceptions. I can't remember, but he really took off for us. By his junior year, he had 60 to 70 colleges recruiting him, from Alabama to Ohio State, but he chose Texas. He arrived in Austin as a safety but left as a linebacker. In 2022, he was an All-Big 12 selection with a career-high 96 tackles with 10 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 quarterback pressures, and 5 pass breakups. He has absolute extreme athleticism and he's got a very high IQ. Irwin said of the 6'4", 224-pound Overshown, "You can scheme with him like they do with Micah. Move him around to different spots, put him on different platforms, different levels, and he can get after the quarterback. He's going to have to put on some weight, which he can do. They'll get him on the training table, but if he's like 245 minus 250, he'll be an absolute terror, I'm telling you." On draft night, Overshown said the Cowboys' plan was to play him anywhere and everywhere. "My versatility is really what separates my game from a lot of people, and I'm ready to show that," Overshown said. Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn's plan is to use Overshown first as a weak side linebacker. At the rookie minicamp, he was the only linebacker working with position coach Scott McCurley, but Quinn sees the possibility of him doing more. "When we can get to that spot where you're interchangeable pieces, it seems more complex. But really, I would say the package can be easier when we're just featuring people in different spots," Quinn said. At the moment, Overshown is penciled in behind linebacker Damon Clark on defense, but Quinn has shown the ability to use players at different spots. Parsons has played off the ball linebacker and pass rusher. He has used Jaron Kearse at linebacker and safety. Overshown will have to show he is a quick learner. "He has a plan for me, and I'm excited to get in that defense," Overshown said. Overshown is excited just to be a Cowboy. A week after the draft, he went to an ARP elementary school to talk and play with the students. Maybe he related the story of his 3rd grade yearbook to them. Maybe one day one of them will see the same realization of the dream. "Getting that call, I'll never forget that moment," Overshown said. "The tears instantly just running down my face, the love and the joy that I heard from my family when they saw my name come up across the screen as a Dallas Cowboy. I'll never forget it." But now he has to earn everything, even the star on his helmet, with Coach Mike McCarthy carrying on a tradition that started years ago with rookies. "It's missing a star, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna earn it," he said. "That's what I want to do. I actually want it that way. I want to be able to earn that star, to be able to know the vets trust me. So whatever I've got to do to get that star on my helmet, that's what I'm going to do." The second story is Cowboys still chasing Eagles. Historic NFC East odds revealed. It has certainly been an interesting offseason so far for the Dallas Cowboys, with several moves being made to bolster one of the NFL's best rosters. With those moves comes projections about how successful their season will be. Among those projections are betting odds, giving preseason numbers on everything from win totals to division winners. Following that trend, Forbes released their odds for who would win the NFC East, and they see a historic trend being bucked. They believe that the Philadelphia Eagles will win the division once again, giving them plus 100 odds to do so. There has not been a repeat NFC East winner since the early 2010s, when the Eagles themselves won it 4 straight seasons from 2001 to 2004. Right behind them, though, come the Cowboys at plus 170. Philadelphia and Dallas coming in at first and second respectively in these odds is far from surprising, especially with the talent on the two rosters. While the Eagles have earned the rights to be favorites after making the Super Bowl last season, there is plenty of reason to believe the Cowboys have what it takes to win the division. First and foremost, they could be elite on both sides of the ball. Offensively, Dak Prescott leads one of the NFL's best defenses, working with a plethora of weapons headlined by Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb, not to mention their offseason addition of Brandon Cooks. One look at the Cowboys' defense is all it takes to see talented littered across the depth chart. The superstar pass rush duo of Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence often live in the backfield, wreaking havoc for foes. In the secondary, they have Trevon Diggs working to outdo elite receivers, pairing him with Stephon Gilmore, who they acquired in a trade this offseason. Ultimately, preseason betting odds or projections being made in May are best treated as a baseline for what could happen, not the be-all, end-all. The Cowboys very well could come in second once again, watching the Eagles take home another NFC East crown. However, there are plenty of reasons to believe that once again, we will not have a repeat division winner. The third hypotheticals from Bleacher Report would send the long-tenured Tyron Smith into the sunset, but also net the Dallas Cowboys some strong defensive talents. As the NFL season prepares to reach one of its duller stages, the rare dead period between organized team activities, minicamps, and training camp, Bleacher Report suggested a series of shocking deals that would flip the Dallas Cowboys scripts and jolt the headlines in the process. One such suggestion causes the Cowboys to part ways with a new century staple in Tyron Smith. We believe that having watched OTAS from inside the Star, CowboysSI.com has pretty much shut down the idea of dumping Tyron. Though, as you can read here, so are any other bright ideas. Yup. They attempt to construct reasons for Dallas to trade for defensive lineman Ed Oliver and recent playoff victim Devin White. We'll say this, potential suitors could be drawn away from Oliver thanks to the $10.7 million option he's due this season. He'd be an expensive rental as he is free after this season. With Osa Odigizua manning the interior and Michigan's Mazi Smith coming in the first round of this spring's draft, Dallas feels like it's already used assets here to fix a weakness. Those factors make him something less than a fit. And what about White being mentioned as a potential Dallas target, considering he has sought a way out of Tampa Bay as they prepare for their post-Tom Brady era? Having appeared on both Pro Bowl and All-Pro teams, White would be what BR calls a splashy acquisition. And that is true. But just as Oliver is an overpriced guy, White is presently making $11.7 million and is also on the last year of his contract. And yes, his desire to escape Tampa would be pacified by the Bucs giving him a rich new contract. So again, we're talking about a 2023 rental here, unless Dallas chooses to upset its salary cap balance for a splash. And despite owner Jerry Jones' reputation for doing so, it's not about splash here, it's about value within the cap. BR forgets to mention what Dallas trade cost would be here. But here's the question that many forget to bring up in any of this imaginary deals. If Oliver and White are worth $11 million APY and worth a new contract, why haven't the Bills and the Bucs, respectively, given them those new contracts? The fourth story is Cowboys rookie DeMarvion Overshown, Micah Parsons as versatile role model. Frisco, the Dallas Cowboys selected DeMarvion Overshown with the 90th overall pick in the third round of this year's NFL Draft. Overshown is 6'3", 229 pounds, and is considered a rangy backer whose athletic profile lends him to versatile usage on the football field. If anyone is properly equipped to give a scouting report on new Cowboys linebacker Overshown, it's his college coach, Steve Sarkisian. Overshown was a staple of Sarkisian's Texas Longhorns defenses the past 2 seasons in Austin. At the end of the day, versatility really helps in that system, and I think Demo provides that. Sarkisian told a group of spectators during the Texas Fight Tour recently in a visit to DFW. We saw it obviously with DQ last year with Micah Parsons and moving him around, so I think Demo's versatility can play into that. In 5 seasons with the Longhorns, Overshown registered 249 tackles, 113 solo, 9 sacks, and 3 interceptions. Now, the Cowboys hope Overshown can make the same type of impact at the linebacker position on Sundays as he did on Saturdays, as Cowboys star Micah Parsons is in the process of shifting his positional focus for 2023 from being a do-it-all standout to being more of a pass rusher. 2 keys here. 1, as CowboysSI.com has been trying to make clear, Micah is isn't changing positions to become a full-time defensive end. One local outlet misunderstood Parsons' explanation of why he's working to add a little bulk to his frame, and that story has now gone nuts, in the wrong direction. And 2, no, we do not think Coach Sark is trying to compare a middle-round pick in Overshown with a player in Parsons who literally might be the best defender in the NFL. Indeed, Overshown's style and competition might be more about Jabril Cox, another young and athletic Cowboys linebacker who is working to get real snaps in 2023. But the point about versatility is what to take from Sark's scouting report. Overshown isn't going to be Micah, but if he can play in multiple spots, starting on special teams,